Hi guys. I just woke up. And I remembered what day it is. Today's a very special day. Signified by gosh signified by that little guy right there. So oh no. I'll be right back. Okay. It's finally installed. For a quick shower and a bit of a scare regarding a clothing situation, I have returned. There it is. Oh, come on, baby. Come on, please. It's going. It's so close. I know you want to do it. Come on. Maybe I should just do something else. Like while I wait. I don't know. How have you guys been? Oh, as far as clothing situation goes. So, get out of the shower. I get my clothes. Realized I forgot to bring underwear into the shower with me. And I was like, okay. I look in my room, no underwear. I was like, oh crap. Do I have to use my bed? Oh. It's here, boys. This is the Halo Infinite update that Mama was talking about. I'm not even faking those sniffles. I'm actually kind of sick. Sorry if I do sound a little sick. Voice is a little voice is a little deeper, you know. We'll be right back. No, ladies and gentlemen, your eyes are not deceiving you. It is Halo Infinite Season 5. Also known as About Goddamn. Hey, guess who it is? He's back, and he's about to click the mouse, so ready? I don't know if you guys heard that. Anyway, hi guys, Broesnic here again. I figured with Season 6 right around the corner, I'd take some time out to talk about Season 5 and the two operations that released alongside it, to sort of give a full retrospective of the last 4 months of Halo Infinite. Talking about the content that was added, the fixes, the changes, and additions beyond what cosmetics were in the Battle Pass. At the end of the video, we'll also hear from a handful of people and ask them what their opinions are on Halo Infinite Season 5, and whether or not they believe that 343i delivered a good update for the community. So with that short intro out of the way, let's start. Of course, before we get to the good stuff, we do have to talk about what cosmetics were added this season. For the first time in Halo history, except those two other times, we get to see what happens when a Spartan falls to the ancient evil that is the Flood. This season's main theme centered around a fire team of Spartans that fell and were infected by the Flood. And there was even an audiobook under the name of Saturn Devouring His Son, I believe. Also a really creepy painting. The Battle Pass as well as the item shop shows off the untold horror of what happens when people underestimate the parasite. In all honesty, these cosmetics look great. I think most people think of Halo 3 when describing the Flood, you know, the fleshy and bony look of them, but I'm actually more of a Combat Evolved / Halo Wars 2 connoisseur. I really love when the Flood glow and look more like a fungal growth filling the cracks of what they corrupt. I'm pretty impressed with 343i and their ability to merge both of these art styles together to really make something beautiful. I have heard from people that the Flood cosmetics look a little generic, as in they look more like something you'd see elsewhere, but I personally don't see it. But to each their own. We all know that our beloved space zombies were the trendsetter. The cosmetics look amazing in the Battle Pass, and so do the ones that were added in the shop. And all for the low price of... Oh. Moving on. With the new Flood Spartan cosmetics and the audiobook that released alongside them, you might be asking yourself, where does this fit in with Halo Infinite's multiplayer story? They got rid of it. So... But just look at that zombie boy. The other set of cosmetics in the Battle Pass are just more sets of armor for the Mark 5B core, which I know for certain that the Reach kids are happy about. I personally love Reach, but until they add the security. 1 second. The final things that were added are seasonal things that tend to get added whenever a Battle Pass releases around the time of a holiday. For example, this season released around Halloween, so you've got a whole bunch of Halloween cosmetics. You got pumpkins, spooky ghosts, and skeletons, stuff like that. I like that this basically means that some Spartans are pretty festive around the holidays and tend to show off their holiday spirit more than other recruits, probably to the dismay of those who take things more seriously. I'm a huge fan of the vehicle coatings that also got added too. We got this really beautiful Halloween coating. It's got a purple, black, and orange color scheme. You got camouflage and all that stuff. Really cool. And the other one, it's just pure bliss. I mean, look at this. It looks like something that was ripped out of G1 Transformers. It's beautiful. And speaking of the actual, like, Battle Pass, I'm sure you've noticed, but in case you haven't because you're currently putting this video on in the background, the Battle Pass has been cut in half. All the way down to 50 tiers. Most duplicate rewards like shoulders and coatings have all been added on the same tier, which makes the unlock process much easier on the player. I'm a pretty big fan of this because most people don't want to grind through 100 tiers of Battle Pass rewards, and if you fall behind, it's kind of a nightmare to catch up. So, frankly, this Battle Pass was a major improvement on seasons prior, and I'm super happy that they did it. Of course, with all these brand new helmets, you're probably thinking, oh, if only I could use this brand new EOD helmet, or this absolute masterpiece that is the Security Reach helmet, on my other Spartans. Well, now you can. Starting in Season 5, cross-core helmets are officially here. Now, before I continue, yes, this should have been here at the start, yada yada yada, but now it's so easy to see just how many avenues for customization have been opened. Now I can use some of my favorite helmets to actually make Chimera look good. In all honesty, this is a change that most, if not all, Halo fans have been waiting for since the game's release. It's simple, it's beautiful, and it's janky. Words that perfectly describe Halo since the dawn of its inception. There are a couple of funny combos. For instance, if you'd like, you can make a banana Spartan using this helmet from the Iori core on the SPI core. Yes, that looks hilarious, and is perfect. Speaking of the SPI core, I noticed that when using certain helmets from other cores, it tends to, well, remove the Spartan's neck from existence, and the opposite is true when using SPI helmets on other cores. It's pretty funny and a little unpolished, but I feel like it adds to the charm of Halo customization. Again, there was also another bug at the start of the season regarding the SPI core. One of the shoulder pads, I don't know which one exactly, but it ended up looking like the Mark 7 shoulder pad. I don't know how that happened. I'm kinda glad they fixed it. It's just kinda weird. Another big win for Halo Infinite's customization is officially getting Master Chief's armor in multiplayer. The best part? It's semi-customizable, unlike kits of past season. You're able to change the coating, the visor, and even add armor effects. I find that pretty cool, especially with how you unlock it. Much like in Halo Reach and Halo 4, you have to progress your Spartan rank in multiplayer. No, I'm not talking about Battle Pass, I'm talking about your multiplayer level. The end of match XP you earn outside of the Battle Pass XP you get, that's how you unlock this. And in order to get the Master Chief Armor Kit, you have to reach Hero rank. Which, I remember reading about the math and the amount of XP you need to get there, but it's a lot, it's a lot. Of course, I wish that this was a core and not just a kit, so that way you were able to change the helmet of this as well, but hey, what can you do? At least it's free, unlike the other Master Chief armor. That's right! Halo CE Mark V has returned. And, oh, this looks beautiful. Hey, how much is this thing anyway? Okay. We gotta talk about this. I'm for sure not being controversial in the slightest when I say that Halo Infinite's item shop is the worst thing to ever happen to the franchise. I mean, come on. All of these cool armors are locked behind a paywall. It's ridiculous that a lot of our old school armors have been taken away from us and are currently being resold at sometimes a third of the price of the game it was from back when it released. I could rant on day in and day out, but that isn't productive, and people know, the devs know, your grandmother knows, we get it, and we understand. So yes, the item shop has become a problem with this season. This season especially. People have noticed that when certain bundles return at a discounted price, they're often the same price as when they were when they first released. Apparently 343i stated that due to the items being more valuable, the price of the shop should reflect that. Frankly, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You can make an argument for the bundle not being sold at a smaller price, but you definitely cannot make one for a bundle being more expensive. So let me throw my hat in the ring for some solutions that could be added in Season 7, or maybe sometime later in Season 6, depending on if some random 343 employee manages to find this video, let alone click on it. The biggest one is reworking the bundle system. Like others have brought up, Halo customization is very different from something like Fortnite, Apex, or Call of Duty. Ours is modular. And yeah, honestly, just look at Fortnite. Say what you want about the game, but man, do these guys know how to run an item shop. Fortnite also includes bundles, but these bundles have the skin and other accessories included for a total discounted price instead of buying the items individually. Allowing people to buy these items individually, and then the bundles for a discounted price allows the bundles to function as, well, a bundle. That gives players the sense that they are getting a bargain for their buck. You could honestly price things accordingly. For instance, you could purchase each shoulder for 100 V-Bucks a pop, 300 for the helmets, and obviously you get the subsequent attachments. 200 for the remaining armor pieces, and then 200 for the coatings, the visor and everything else that is included, like a weapon kit, a weapon coating, vehicle coating, you know what I mean. As you purchase these items that are a part of a bundle, the value of the cosmetic is subtracted from the bundle's already discounted price. Say a bundle is worth 1,500 V-Bucks, and a person buys a helmet, gloves, and shoulders. That's 700 V-Bucks that the player has spent. Now the bundle is only worth 800 V-Bucks, including all the other armor pieces and whatever else is in there. Frankly, the main problem with Halo Infinite's item shop is that it lacks consistency. A constant value for each of these cosmetics is much easier to remember for both players and developers in charge of making the shop. Stop with the stupid Fortnite color rarities. It doesn't matter if most things can be bought from the shop at any time. Making the item shop consistent will also make it less imposing on players and allow them to pick out what they actually want. Also, give players an easier way to earn said V-Bucks. If the only way to get a shiny new coating or an armor piece is to wait around for a stupid event, players aren't going to feel like their effort is worth the reward. Going back to Fortnite again, players can sometimes purchase V-Buck quests or bundles that include V-Bucks and a skin. Let us do that too. Give us options to earn our cosmetics. It's been proven time and time again that players are willing to work for what they earn. A smart man is a cheap man. And besides, it's more player interaction for you, 343i, so let us earn our coatings and helmets. The paid ones, not just the free ones. I could honestly give more ideas and solutions for the item shop, but we'd be here all day. Let me know if you guys want me to make a video about quote-unquote fixing the item shop. Okay, now that all the cosmetics and cosmetic topics have been covered, we can actually get into the content that was added throughout the season. Season 5 includes a few new maps and a new weapon variant. The Bandit was the only weapon added post-launch in Season 2. As far as only getting a new weapon variant for it 3 seasons later, I'm not that all impressed. I mean, the weapon's great, I love it, although I was hoping for something a little more than just the DMR reskin. I know that the Bandit Evo was only added to sub the battle rifle in competitive, and believe me, I am all for the backseat role that the battle rifle now has on some maps in competitive. I hate this weapon. But I was hoping we'd get something, I don't know, better? Halo is extremely rich in the amount of content and the amount of weapons that are available in the franchise, and just in the universe in general. A knockoff DMR just seems like you barely scratched the surface of what you could get. We already have the Commando, and I feel like that would have been a more interesting thing to see widespread in comp. It's a beautiful full auto precision weapon that needs to have its recoil controlled. I feel like that would have been more interesting to see is all. But yes, for what it's worth, I do love the Bandit and the Evo variant added. I just wish we got a little bit more is all. Moving away from the Bandit, we got 2 new official maps with the launch of Season 5, that being Prism and Forbidden. And let me just say that, oh man, these are some of the best maps I have ever had the pleasure of playing in a video game. From the atmosphere to how they play, these are some top tier maps. The only problem is that now they're funneled in with the less than ideal maps after they released. I certainly love these 2 maps more than that awful reimagining of that one Halo Reach map that isn't even playable in Infection, even though that's like the only way that people remember it from Halo Reach. Prism takes place inside a Blamite crystal mine under Banished control. The Blamite crystals are only found on Subin, a Senghili moon, and for those who are lore nerds, Blamite is the ammunition of the Type 33 and other versions of the Needler. Subin is an environment we've never once seen nor been to, despite the Needler being in every Halo game to date. So it's really cool to see more of the world of Halo. The map features 3 power weapons, 1 precision, 1 melee, and the pinpoint Needler variant. Yes, I'm counting that as a power weapon because it kills people in like 10 shots. After playing with these weapons, I can say that they tend to balance each other out when teams can collect them equally. I think that if they could be moved away from each team's spawn to make them a little bit more fair to grab, I feel like the map would be a little bit more balanced. Take moving the sniper over to the end of the mine and the energy sword / gravity hammer to the big Blamite crystal. I feel like that would be a pretty good idea. Other than that, the map is beautiful. Pink Blamite crystal pockets line the walls that can actually be destroyed, causing the fragments to track the nearest player to them, although it's kind of difficult to do. The other map added is called Forbidden. This map is the embodiment of broken and beautiful. Halo 2's Forerunner above ground temple aesthetic is nothing short of iconic and beautiful. This map perfectly captures the aesthetic and brings it into the modern era. Unlike Prism, Forbidden is symmetrical, both in design and weapons. The 2 power weapons available are precision ones, and each team will have to use theirs better than the other team in order to come out successful. The map is stunning. The waterfalls and cliffside hazards. The map being ripped straight out of Halo 2, I'd naturally set it on Delta Halo as well. There's also an Easter egg that can be followed to collect a secret item, which I find awesome. This kind of stuff just shows that 343 still like to have fun, and I appreciate it. As far as balancing, I don't really have any complaints. The map is balanced, simple, and beautiful. Before we get into the operations, we still have 2 big things left to talk about. As many Forge lovers know, Halo 5 was regarded to have the best Forge, but once Halo Infinite's Forge became more and more developed, it slowly started taking the title away from it. This season, Halo Infinite has officially won the title over. With the release of Forgeable AI in Halo Infinite, players can now create insane maps. And even in the early days of Season 5, people were already doing that, creating custom campaigns, firefight maps, and even creating a spiritual successor to Halo 5's Warzone mode with the amount of PvPvE maps that are currently available on the downloads page. Along with that, lots of bug features and smaller additions like more material patterns being made available, Forge players have lots of new content to tinker with to continue building amazing creations for the community. Lastly is the new game modes that were added, Extraction and Firefight. Extraction is a game mode brought back from Halo 4 that functions similarly to King of the Hill, except instead of standing in the hill to capture points, you activate a small device that captures the hill zone for you, freeing you up to be a little bit more maneuverable. After playing these 2 game modes hand in hand, I like Extraction a lot better, and if you're one of the people that actually plays the objective instead of treating every game like Slayer, you probably enjoy it much more than Objective Babysitter Simulator. It can get pretty intense when the enemy team is about to capture a zone, but you barely manage to take control of the device before they score. I think the game mode is a very welcome addition to Halo Infinite, and is probably one of the more underrated things that they've added this update. The other game mode that I'm sure way more of you were excited for is Firefight. Firefight is back, with a twist. Instead of hunkering down somewhere to farm kills and basically autopilot the entire game, you have a hill that you have to hold and not let the AI capture. It's basically Koth, but with AI instead of players. I could go either way on this one. I like the idea of forcing the player to move around and not camp the entire match, which is a great idea. However, I do still miss the classic Firefight game mode. Luckily, Forge has you covered if you need your fix of that, and you can even earn XP now in customs, which is pretty cool. I also think it would be pretty interesting to see how other game modes would fare. Imagine something like Extraction or Capture the Flag, or maybe something entirely different. Fiesta Fight would be interesting as well. I'm not sure how possible it would be to give the AI random weapons, but if it is, I'd love to play it. Imagine fighting against brutes and they all have snipers, rocket launchers, and cinder shots. Firefight in its current state is very fun, and with the option to choose between normal, heroic, and legendary, it's a great option for players who aren't ready for each game mode. I heard that they're planning on adding a lasso fight game mode as well, so good luck with that, gamers. Now that Season 5 is done, we can talk about Season 5.1, also known as the Combined Arms Operation. As far as the content that was added, it was okay. And for those of you wondering why I'm calling it Season 5.1, well, it's because they added a new Battle Pass. And yes, if you didn't buy it, you lost your old Battle Pass XP boost. So, that's why. I'm pretty indifferent on this, to be honest. I think it's a great thing that they're essentially allowing players to keep event passes around if they enjoy the rewards, but don't have time to grind for it. I still think the event passes were better though. It was a separate progression system from your battle pass and challenge XP. Instead, the challenges themselves were the tier ups. Yes, both of these systems had their problems, and like I said, not being able to keep event passes around longer than the event was, or joining in too late and not being able to access all the rewards since they go off challenge completions and not XP. It was kinda sucky. As far as improving the passes goes, I think it might be a good idea to give them a separate progression system, and obviously not have them interfere with the Battle Pass XP's boost. Only having Battle Pass XP for like 30 days really stings. It just makes it not worth it for having your XP boost, and it's not like that's a main selling point of the Battle Pass either, so it's just annoying. The cosmetics in this hybrid pass are good. It's pretty quick, only lasting around 20 tiers, with most having a meaningful reward in them. I think the Rakshasa armor was cool, and I hope to see if they'll continue to support past cores, not just the ones that were in Season 1 and 2. This operation centered around a lot of community-made remasters of Halo 3 maps, some being remasters, others being reimagines. I couldn't see anything wrong with these. Some of the reimagines look great, and I genuinely love them. The operation was also a slight testing ground for different networking tests, as well as an alteration to the game's matchmaking, which I'm a huge fan of. Continue to test that, baby. Of course, some of the results could be listed as less than ideal. But it's the effort and thought that counts. The other operation that came later in the season was the Winter Contingency Part 3. Wait, is it Part 3 or Part 2? There'll be a subtitle to correct me if I'm wrong. The items that launch with it were pretty much the same. About 20 items in a free battle pass that could be purchased if the player wishes to keep it longer. Same old, same old. This one didn't really add much outside some more Christmas stuff. That's still in the item shop for some reason. And a map reskin. That most players never noticed because it's only in the 4v4 playlist and not in a 27 playlist like almost every other map ever released in Halo Infinite. If you can't tell with this one, I was very underwhelmed. Compared to the rest of the season and even the other operation, it just didn't hold up. 343, in the future, don't market these as your own mini season when in all honesty you're just giving us an overpriced bundle for free. I mean, it's cool, but why not just add them to the original season pass? Or do it like the free Fracture events like seasons past, where players could have that added on to their current battle pass and have something to work on in addition to their battle pass. Trust me, no one is going to be mad at you for just giving us content, but just call it how it is. Most people don't read anyway, so it's fine if you want to tie it to like a book or something. Ending off a little weak may have you thinking that I didn't enjoy this season all that much, but it's quite the contrary. All of the content, bug fixes, new customization, cosmetics, maps, game modes, and future Foundation laid out just makes me super excited for the future of Halo Infinite. Starting off with my least favorites just to get them out of the way. The shop, the operations, and... The shop for sure needs an update. It's primitive, even by Call of Duty standards. Forget promoting bundles for 2 months straight, and stop with the dumb rarity labels to not have a consistent price on cosmetics. We need variety, rotate more things out on a daily basis, get players to log in day after day just to see if that coding or bundle they wanted is finally in the shop. Instead of, oh, well, let's see, oh, a bundle got added. Well, I know what I'm going to be seeing for the next week, or month. I don't have to look in the item shop for a while. Again, going back to Fortnite, even when I was grounded or had homework and couldn't play, I would sneak on my computer just to see if a skin I wanted was in the shop. You can totally be that way too, 343. Make things more varied. You've already got a separate tab just for promoting comp skins. Why not make a tab to promote the season bundles you let hog the item shop? Seriously, out of all of these items, only one of them is a daily that swaps. What is that? Keep it interesting. Also, the bundle things I talked about, make them worth the money by giving players the option to pick what they want. And when they see that big number drop by another 20 to 25%, it'll make them think about wanting the bundle even more. The other thing that I want them to improve are the operations. These are a cool proof of concept, but in practice, this little battle pass does not warrant your current pass being made obsolete. Nor can what is essentially a bundle being given out for free carry an entire mini-season made about it. I think if you want to keep the way that it's going, start making bundles into challenges. Who knows, you could buy a bundle quest pack that'll give you the armor upon completion, and maybe add another challenge tab just for bundle challenges. That way players can still earn their cosmetics and you get to walk away with some cash. I'm more so just snowballing answers. Money shouldn't be the only incentive you chase. I know you also need player engagement in order to make your boss happy and let you keep your job. As far as the other parts of the season went, everything from the cosmetic capability expanding exponentially with helmets and coatings to a lesser extent, becoming interchangeable between the cores has truly made my Spartan unique. I've actually yet to see another one that looks like me. Don't take that as a challenge. It's amazing to see all the creativity from the community now. Forge is awesome. I sometimes look in the map file browser just to see what new creations were cooked up by the community. Halo Infinite did not start off as my favorite Halo game. I mean, it still isn't, but now it's actually pretty good. Nor did it start out as a game I thought I'd be investing as much time into as I have. Before this game, my main multiplayer game of choice was Fortnite and TF2. But now, not only did this game rope me back in with the launch of Season 4, it also made me one of its biggest fans and supporters. Not just of itself, but the Halo franchise as a whole. Keep going, 343. I'm rooting for you. So, with that being said, let me know what you guys thought of the video. I know I haven't been good with uploads as of recent, but I'm slowly making my way back out. I've been posting on my YouTube community tab as well as my Discord to keep you guys in the loop. I'm also going inactive on Discord for a little bit, just to make sure that I can focus on things that are important right now. I got sick again, which is why my voice sounds weird, and yeah, I'm currently on a lot of pain meds right now, and it's very hard for me to focus on anything. So, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, or a dislike if you didn't. And as always, I'm your favorite Blue Letter YouTuber, Broesnic, and I'll see you guys. What?
Aren't you forgetting something?
No? What am I forgetting?
The interviews? You said you were doing interviews.
Oh. Oh yeah, that's right. Can I finish my outro first?
Okay.
Thanks. Anyway, so, I guess this is an outro / intro. Now we're going to be hearing from a couple of people that I got interviews for, and these three are actually from my Discord. So huge thank you to you guys, and join my Discord if you want to talk to me, talk to some amazing people, and browse a community that I'm currently trying to help flourish and grow. Anyway, take it away past Broesnic, as well as Aquafor, Ryefish, and Aerostorm. And for you guys listening to me now, I'll see you guys in the next one. Zug Zug.
Hello.
Was good.
Hey, how's it going, my friend?
I'm doing good. You?
I'm doing good too. Just collecting a little bit of
interviews for an upcoming video I've got going on. So, first question. How engaged would you say you were with Halo Infinite as far as 2023 went?
Well, honestly, it's probably the year that I most played Infinite. Because before, like, December 2022, I only touched it, like, twice. But after, around the time Season 3 came out, I was like, the winter update.
Yeah.
And I started playing it a lot, and especially after Season 3, I was like on it every day for a while there. Now is less so, just because I'm kind of burnt out of Halo as a whole.
Yeah.
Because I've played it so much over the past few years, but I still hop on. I try to hop on weekly, even though sometimes I don't. But
yeah, of course.
Just to like check out like the
check out the item shop, yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah, and the item shop, all that, and see if they've added any like new modes or anything. And yeah, I'd say probably 2023 is definitely the most engaged I've been with Halo Infinite.
Okay, Ryefish. So, in your opinion, or I guess from personal experience, how engaged were you with Halo Infinite as far as 2023 went?
2023, I started out late 2022, like holiday season, and then I played pretty much all throughout 2023. But I mean, like at some parts, it got a bit dull because not much happened.
Especially at the start of the year.
Yeah, like season 2, like late season 2. That was just like, man.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, season 2 and season 3 were very dull, but I'm glad that things picked up a little bit.
I mean, like, season 3 brought some good changes.
Yeah, of course. Like coatings went cross-core for like the first time ever, and then it just kind of kept snowballing, and now we're here.
Off and on. Let's see. I first got into Halo Infinite like when the winter update came out. That was actually when I started playing Infinite. So like right when the game slowly started getting better.
Yeah.
And throughout 2023, I was just really excited to learn like each thing that was coming out, and was just excited for all the bits, and was like watching every single Halo news channel that I could, because I just wanted to see the game do.
Yeah, of course, all of us did. Yeah.
Cool. No.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Yeah, people really did want to see Halo Infinite like get through this struggle that it was going through at the time of release. I mean, we had like a huge content drought at the start of the game. Like tons of things were missing, like a lot of just the horrible things that we like absolutely took for granted in the other Halo games. You know, and once they were gone, we realized that we did miss them deeply. Like some like simple things, just being able to choose the color on your Spartan was awful. It was terrible, because back when things like the Iori Core released, or Rakshasa, or things that weren't the Mark 7 or the Mark 5B, it was just a slog to get anything that looked vaguely unique or vaguely like nice looking without breaking the bank. And of course, nowadays Halo Infinite is doing much better, and I'm sure we're all glad to see that it is. How do you feel about Halo Infinite going into 2024? Are you excited? Are you a little apprehensive? You got some things you're kind of holding out, maybe things you're hoping they add or do?
I've heard they're gonna stop doing seasonal stuff, but like not as well. So from what I understand, it's basically just they're calling it something else, but it's still basically seasons, like the event things, or
there's still gonna be a battle pass. You're still gonna have to earn your rewards and all that stuff.
Yeah, and I've seen people online get like really upset about them stopping seasonal updates, quote unquote, and saying that it's like a sign of the game dying or whatever, but I think that's kind of an overreaction. I probably think 2024 is kind of going to be a really good year for Infinite, especially if they release some of this, like the stuff I've seen that, like the not finished stuff I've seen online. There's like a bunch of weapons there just in the files that aren't released yet in vehicles.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you got like, what was it? The Falcon. There was like a weird banished shotgun. It'll actually be the first like non-human, non-foreigner shotgun that's been in Halo, so that's gonna be interesting. And with it being like a mini gravity hammer too, or at least it's kind of got like a gravity hammer design to it, I'm actually really curious to see how it'll play.
Yeah, I've seen like a thing where it's like the carbine, like the Halo 3 carbine.
Yeah.
With like an energy sword attached underneath it, and I'm not sure if that's like just them, like a concept thing that never got fully completed, or if it's something they're gonna actually add into the game. But I think it would be really cool to see more stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like new weapons in general.
I am hopeful. I mean, like, if I had to be honest, I don't think it's gonna be coming back or like anything crazy. It's just, but I do think it's going to be better and more polished and feel like a stepping stool for the next title.
I'm excited. Word is there's kind of the 343 is kind of letting it die down a little bit, that they're kind of giving the quality of life stuff and then moving on to the next big thing.
Yeah.
But I'm still excited. I don't know. People have talked about the Mutilator or the Falcon for like a year and a half now, and I still would really love to see those make their way into the game.
Oh yeah, they're like, and from what people have shown, it is coming along very nicely. Like, recently I saw a texture update on the Falcon, and I think now all they've got to do is just rework the physics and I think finish up with the final bit of bugs, and the Falcon should honestly be ready to go.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a great time to be a fan of Halo, let alone a fan of Halo Infinite. I mean, like, it's good to see this game just kind of thriving and sort of finding its own way back into modern games as well as the Halo community. What would you want to see in Halo Infinite going forward?
Well, probably the top of the list would be them fixing like theater mode just to make machinima making easier.
Right.
Since that's sort of like the main draw for Halo for me is like the ability to make machinimas and stuff and tell stories.
Yeah.
And that's great and all, but other than that, I think maybe just like more often updates with, like, not even big updates, just small updates with content like every month or two.
Yeah.
Because sometimes these like long stretches between the seasonal updates gets sort of tiring after a while.
And we're kind of in that phase right now, like, because with at the end of season 5, you know, the past operation, now we kind of like did the Christmas stuff. I mean, in my opinion, the Christmas stuff was just a tiny bit underwhelming. So we're kind of in that like content drought before, where like the player base is easing off. We're all getting excited for the new season that's coming out, and so yeah, like I made a lot of connections in my script to a funny game on the internet. I'm not sure if you've heard of it. It's called Fortnite. But
oh, never.
So the funny thing about this funny little building game is that Fortnite itself actually parodied a lot of things that Halo like used to do, like whether it was kind of like a unique art style, unique like gameplay that didn't really fit any other shooters of the time. But one thing that Fortnite did do well, especially in like the early to like, I guess like the soft silver age of the game, was the weekly updates, where they just kind of messed around, added in a bunch of stuff. Like there would be like a new weapon or a new utility item like every week. And it wasn't even like for balancing, like they didn't even like do their best to balance it. I mean, obviously they should have, right? But that often led to just the game feeling like fresh and new. Like you could stop playing for 2 weeks, come back, and then you'd practically be playing an entirely different game with an entirely different like way to play. So I think if 343, you know, did that, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I sort of just like smaller updates that are more often in gaming in general. Like
Yeah.
Like I guess a good example would be like Minecraft. They used to do like bi-weekly updates for a while, like years ago, and that was like my favorite time during that era. But now it's just like one or two massive updates a year, and it's like kind of a drain. But if Halo were to sort of take on that model, I get why Number Company would want to probably not do that, because like you said, the balancing it'd be like,
it would be a nightmare.
Very hard to balance.
It would be a little bit of a nightmare.
They're all about like the competitive scene that doesn't really exist, and other than like Halo Champion or whatever it's called, HCS.
Yeah.
But like just casual players I don't really think touch that very much. It's mostly just like the main playlists, like quick play and the featured stuff they have.
Yeah.
I think I might be reiterating what I've said earlier, but I definitely would like love to see that, like you said, like a new small thing every week or two, and
just
I think it'd be great.
Like even in what was it, Halo 5's Forge, you could there was a thing you could do where you could mess with the properties of a weapon. Like I think you could give an assault rifle the ability to fire like needler rounds if you wanted to. I'm not saying like they have to do that, but I think just kind of bringing that sort of absurdity and kind of arcadey feel back into Halo's combat could really help the game just feel fresh and new for longer periods of time. And like you can see again with like the leaked content, you could see that there was a lot of things that they are trying that I would argue that Bungie probably would never have done, and it's really cool to see. So.
Yeah, I mean it's been like how long since the game released? Like 3 years, and there's only been one new weapon and one weapon variant added, and like 3 new equipment, and it's like the stuff they've added is cool, but like it feels a bit underwhelming waiting that long for so little new additions to the sandbox.
Right.
Be honest, like more free stuff. I do like their like Operation Pass things. I just want them to like be a little shorter. This one's been going on for like 5 weeks now.
It's been a while. Yeah, these operations tend to
do want them to shorten the length of those.
Yeah.
And I do want to see like a classic infection type deal. Like do like what they did in like how like original this infection is, but it just doesn't feel quite right.
Yeah, like if they added the option like they did back in, I believe Reach did this, and I think maybe Halo 4 and 5 as well, but there were multiple different kinds of infection playlists that you could also choose from. Like you had alpha zombies, you could do normal zombies, I believe there was another one that you could do. So, and I mean, it's not like Halo Infinite can't do that. We've got big team battle and big team heavies and Team Slayer and Tactical Slayer and all these other kinds of offshoots of the same game mode, so I don't see why they can't do that.
You also heard that they are like bringing back like the match composer and a new UI, so I think that's going to be good
for, that's going
to organizing what you want to play.
Yeah, I can't wait for the overall to Halo Infinite's UI. I mean, Right now, it's a little bit janky to kind of go through all of your cosmetics to kind of get what you want, which is a good problem to have. Don't get me wrong; it is a great problem to have. But like,
there's a lot of them.
Yeah. Now, the match and the UI just needs to kind of reflect that as well. So that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, the old system of like the top down scroll cosmetics, I think that would work.
Yeah.
What I want, I don't know how to properly describe it, but I want more like goofiness. Like Halo Infinite treats itself so seriously, you know?
Yeah.
And I want some silliness added to the. I don't know like how you would do that, how you accomplish that, but I just want like good old fashioned, like ridiculous, goofy fun.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways that you could accomplish that. I mean, with like armor core customization getting like a buff yet again. I mean, like of course once cross core helmets became a thing, the banana Spartans you could see sometimes out in the wild were very funny to look at. And of course, like Halo, I feel like Halo doesn't necessarily need to try to be silly. It just is, whether that's like the ragdoll physics or funny explosions, seeing goofy poses when you die, stuff like that.
That's fair.
And
I think
go ahead.
coming more cross-core. I don't know.
More cross-core. Yeah, of course. Like, I honestly feel like just give us it. Despite how goofy it looks, despite how unpolished it may look, just let us have it. I mean, I know that they're kind of scared about, wanting to make things look nice, and to an extent, yes, you should, work to make things look nice, but part of the character customization that was like in Halo for the longest time ever was just making something that was you, that fit you, and seeing things like I don't know, somebody walking around with a silly helmet and ginormous shoulder pads that made their hands look super super tiny, and stuff like that would just make you chuckle. And yeah, it's good to see stuff like that. So yeah, I'm with you on that.
No, agreed. And like you were saying, the best part about customization is not just like, oh, does it look cool? Does it feel like me?
Yeah.
Am I the Spartan I always wanted to be, sort of thing, basically.
Yeah, and I feel like where it's at right now, even where it's at right now, Halo Infinite is actually doing pretty well on that.
That's true.
I've yet to see a Spartan that looks like you or her or him or me in like within the last 3 months of me playing. I've actually never seen that coding you've got on before, or that one. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, agreed.
And I guess this is kind of, I don't know, maybe a little repeating myself a little bit, but I mean, how do you feel about Season 5? How do you feel about the content that was added? And, are there any things that you maybe wish that they didn't change or anything like that?
I mean, like, there's like so much stuff. I can't really narrow it down, like what actually happened in Season 5. It's been a sec.
Yeah, honestly, it does feel like a whole new game, so I don't blame you for, I guess, getting lost in how much content was added.
The like classic stuff that like brings people back in the like Halo 3 playlists.
Yeah, the Halo 3 playlist, squad battle, the I guess all the cosmetics that got added that kind of invoke that sense of nostalgia. Okay, yeah, and I guess rounding things out with this short little interview, do you have any other words you'd like to say about Halo or Halo Infinite? Any other like final wishes or things you'd like to, I guess, just share with other people?
Yeah, the community, it's sort of derisive. I guess I would just talk about the community. It's sort of derisive. I don't know if that's the right word. I'm going to use big words to make myself sound smarter than I actually am. It's sort of like a clashing between like all the different sides of the community. It's tiring, but I get where it's coming from. I mean, lots of people love Halo for a good reason too.
And for different reasons.
And for different reasons, exactly. So that's probably where it comes from, even all the discourse. But Honestly, I feel like Halo's probably probably the best spot it's been in the past few years.
Yeah.
Like since like maybe 2017, and it's sad that like MCC and stuff isn't really getting many updates or major updates anymore. But with the workshop, I kind of understand it. But yeah, it's kind of my final thoughts.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a bit ranty, but
Oh, no. I mean, what Halo video doesn't turn into a rant halfway through?
true.
I'm excited for its future, and you got started playing this game like a long time ago, and I like played at my cousin's house. He like had like Halo 3 and stuff, and we messed around.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
In like Forge, and we spawned a bunch of stuff. So I do want them to have like the like spirit of Halo. And,
Yeah,
bring
and-
back the goofy stuff.
Yeah, just kind of the more social aspect of people being
Yeah.
able to, just kind of have fun.
Yeah, that like match lobbies and stuff, and like social features. You know.
Yeah. Stuff like, and like post and pregame lobbies,
Yeah.
like map voting, stuff that you'd see like back in 2007, back in 2012, stuff like that. Like Black Ops and Modern Warfare, Halo, and other games like Titanfall, I believe. It'd be kind of cool to see stuff like that.
Yeah, I do want them to have like you could try to like fix the skill-based matchmaking like a little, just like patch it slightly, because it's a little rough. I've had to like learn to like sweat my balls off like every match.
Especially in that Halo 3 playlist when they dropped it originally.
Ranked does a little tweaking, like a little more maps.
Yeah.
And like competitive oriented stuff just like should stay there, and then there's like true like social aspect should be in all the social matches. We have this like misconception about like the social playlist that they're all like, oh, I'm gonna go and relax, and just like,
Yeah, of course, and then you've got a whole bunch of like yeah, no, I got you.
Break.
I got
Like,
you.
the Mid Blitz is up in your lobby.
Ooh. I was so happy when Firefight came out. I was stoked. That was the thing that, like, since I started playing Halo Infinite, like, I would just, anyone who would, like, listen to me ramble on about Halo, and that list is few, but anyone who would listen, I would just go on and on about how excited I was for Firefight to finally make its way. And, like, boy, have they delivered. King of the Hill is so much fun, and, like, since it came out.
Yeah, and I think another thing that actually this kind of like opens the door for is like other objective based firefight game modes. I mean, of course we would all appreciate to have the OG firefight return, where it's just you battling waves and waves of banished forces or covenant forces, or depending on the map setting. But I think it'd also be kind of cool if maybe there was like an extraction or maybe even CTF firefight. I don't know how that would work, but I think it would be pretty fun to see a group of brutes running away with your flag.
Or PvE, like Halo 5, that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, like, and there's been tons of maps that have sort of brought back the PvE thing, like Warzone. I played a couple maps in customs that had the PvE stuff, where you could either be points to capture, or you had Slayer or CTF, and you just be bouncing around and battling Spartans and banished forces at the same time. So yeah, I'm with you on that.
Pair them in the back.
Huh?
The pair of them in the background is absolutely amazing. I've been watching them over your shoulder. It's wonderful.
Oh, the parrot. Yeah, she does look like a parrot. I've said that coding looks like a parrot, like, time and time again. Well, gamers, hey, we're on the same team. Oh crap.